Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to our house. Welcome to episode 1 of our house journey. We wanted to take you along on the ride. This has been a 1.5 year long process of bringing this house back to life, making it a home again. And I feel like we're getting close to that final stretch. We probably have about 6 months left of renovation. So we just wanted to take you along, show you the process, and give you a little tour so you can kind of watch it come to life and be a part of the journey with us. Okay, we'll do a quick tour. It's the entryway, so you can just get an idea of the layout. This is the dining room here. Walking through. We actually knocked a wall down in here. This used to be a separate room, but we like the idea of it being connected, so we just made a bigger living room. So this is kind of half of the living room, and then it opens up into, this one's going to be like maybe a little bit more formal without a TV, and then the TV is in this room. We've got fireplace on the wall, and then these are actually all doors that will open up to the backyard. Don't trip over all the wires. We do have a half bathroom here. We have a floating marble sink that we found on Etsy that I am most excited about. I think it's honestly one of my favorite things in the house. On the other side, we have storage underneath the staircase. I really wanted to use every ounce of space that we could find. So this is gonna have a door on it and just be extra living room pillows, blankets, all of that storage in there. In the kitchen.
Duck under the wires.
Duck under. This is the kitchen. I actually don't think we can walk on this.
They
had
some
to
self-leveler down there.
But this is the kitchen layout. There'll be kind of a coffee bar here, kitchen island, countertops and cabinets underneath the windows there. Stove goes here. Actually, the stove is another thing I am very, very, very excited about. It's one of the ones that looks antique. Can I walk on that?
You could step on the dry spot and then
Okay.
hop over.
In here, we have, this is going to be a sliding door. So this is going to be our mud room, laundry room. When Ozzy goes swimming and gets wet, he's going to hang out in here. So we've just got lots of cabinets, storage that's going to go in here. And then I actually think this is a Dutch door. I think it's the top half swings, which is really fun. And then we have the washer and dryer that will be stacked over in this corner. But again, we wanted to just utilize every bit of this space and have lots of cabinetry, lots of countertop space. Oh, lava. Oh gosh, okay. This right here, if you've followed me on Instagram, you may have seen the antique doors we found at a barn sale probably 3 years ago. I think we bought these doors. They're like early 1900s European wooden doors, and they have glass panels. So they're as tall as this, you can see. So they're massive double doors, and I fell in love with them and knew we wanted to make a space for them. So we actually built this pantry around those doors. So it will be all cabinetry, shelves, tons of storage room, and the most beautiful antique doors here. I'm so excited to finally get to use those. And then step on the dry spot. Don't step on it. This is our guest room that actually has doors going out to the pool. So I'm very excited to have people stay over in here. And we did rework some of the spaces. I feel like we have to do a big backstory on how we got to this point, but we did end up cutting the bathroom in half and turn the other half into a pool bath. So we'll have to go on the outside and show you that one. Floors are actually going to be starting this week. So they did just lay down all of the subfloor. Most of the downstairs is going to be wood floors, and it's going to be a herringbone pattern in the entryway.
So before we head upstairs, we wanted to give you a little bit of backstory and why exactly we are doing such a large renovation on this. When we first bought this property, as many of you know, we had sold our previous property, and everyone was like, "Why'd you sell that place? You know, it's so awesome." When we found this place, it's got more property, and we really loved the house. We figured we would just do some minor updates, maybe new flooring, new kitchen, stuff like that. Not too crazy. Once we got into the beginnings of the renovation, we realized that there were a lot more extensive issues with the house that we didn't catch previously.
The home inspector didn't catch.
Yeah, so, oh man, where do I start? One of the biggest things that we realized is when they started doing some of the work on pulling drywall down, that they realized that there was, well, we had noticed a couple tiny leaks in some places.
Weird leaks.
Weird leaks.
Coming out of the side of the kitchen wall. One day it was raining, and I was like, Marky, the
Yeah.
wall is peeing. Like, it was a stream of water coming out the side of the wall, which was strange, things like that. And then the upstairs area, again, was leaking on the second story, coming in from the middle of the wall.
Yeah, so we knew there was going to be some work that had to be done on the roof, but we didn't know exactly how bad that was. When the contractors got in there and started tearing things up, they realized that there were like 70 bad sheets of plywood on the roof. So that's like an insane number. There were rotting headers inside the walls where these leaks were coming in. So we're guessing that the original roofer just didn't do a good job in general. They forgot to flash certain areas. We realized the balcony was rotting away above the front door, which was also leaking down into the wall surrounding the front door, which almost all that wood in there had to be replaced. So it was like 20 years of leaking in there.
That you really couldn't see from the outside. It was all hidden inside the walls, just lots and lots of water damage and rotten wood.
And then when they started doing working on disassembling some of the trim work and stuff, they realized that the windows themselves were rotting. They were actually a really good brand of window that was originally installed, but I guess there was a period of time where they were having delamination issues with their windows. So it's a aluminum clad wood window, and the aluminum cladding was separating from the window. Unfortunately, we were outside of any kind of a warranty period on these windows, so we had to replace every single window in the whole house.
That was really unexpected, but again, they were rotting
Yeah,
around
literally,
every single window.
You go to unroll the window to open it up, and the casing was like coming apart from the window. Oh, as yeah, there's a lot. They realized when they pulled up the floor that the plumbing was leaking from inside the slab. So somehow there had been a plumbing leak inside of our slab.
We kind
so
of
they had
knew.
to replumb the house.
We kind of knew there was something off because we never had good water pressure.
Yeah, there were issues in the house with water pressure, but you couldn't really tell because it was leaking under the house, not on a crawl space. What else was there? There was
Structural issues in the back. The back upstairs bedroom wasn't supported properly. We found that later on. It was like all of these issues and everything were found over the last year and a half. We would go to fix one thing and it was like opening a can of worms. We would just find like 5 more issues and have to stop, fix all of those issues before we could move on to the next thing. So we thought it'd be a 6-month project and it ended up taking over a year and a half. And thankfully we found all of those issues. It's kind of like a blessing in disguise that we didn't just update around rotting walls and rotting beams and everything. So we're really grateful that we had a great contractor that found all of these issues and was able to fix everything along the way. It just turned into a much bigger and longer project than we ever anticipated. So that's really what got us to.
Yeah, and one of the other big ones that I just remembered, which is actually a huge issue, we had gas lanterns all around the house. There was like 16 gas lantern fixtures mounted on the outside of the house. But sometimes you would go to turn them on and it would turn on, sometimes it wouldn't turn on, so we just always left them off. We're like, we're not going to mess with it. It's, we don't have gas running and just blowing out anywhere. And so when they went into the walls to repair what was going on with the gas fixtures, they realized that there was gas leaks in multiple places in the pipes inside the walls. So that was kind of crazy. So what we decided was, well, let's just not go back with gas. We're just going to do electric fixtures on the outside. Yeah, it's scary, with knowing that there was gas leaking in our walls, and fortunately nothing ever happened. But it's definitely eye-opening.
Yeah.
So that's all that leads us to where we are. I mean, we've had to go way over and above what we had originally thought with this renovation, but I mean, it's going to be amazing when we're done.
Yeah.
Definitely teaches you patience.
Yeah, I just keep saying it's going to be worth the wait. And during all of those issues, we were able to make little changes along the way that we weren't expecting to do while they were opening up walls. We're like, okay, let's utilize this space. Let's rework this to make it make sense while everything's open. Why not make it exactly the way we want? So we've truly turned this into exactly what we want in a house. We've utilized a lot of storage space and just made the most of every inch of square feet in here. So it's going to be really exciting. We can't wait to show you guys everything as
Can't wait to show you
it's
the
coming
finishes.
together.
I mean, yeah, we're going to be doing white oak floors. That's probably the next thing that's going to be going in is the
Yeah,
floors.
flooring.
And then tile.
Yeah, so that'll be happening it's starting this week. So hopefully next week's episode we'll have more flooring updates and be able to show you. But let's go upstairs and finish the tour. So next week's episode is going to be very exciting.
Lots of changes.
Lots of changes. At the top of the staircase, this used to be a big open landing area, but it was kind of a waste of space. So we turned it into 2 different spaces. The outside is going to be a desk with a library that wraps around the room. So the library shelves will go, I think,
Watch your step.
floor to ceiling all the way over to here. And I'm very excited about it. We'll have a desk in the middle, so it'll be kind of a workstation and feature library, like right when you walk up the stairs. On the back side of this wall, when we closed it in, we made this a really big storage closet just to organize everything. That was one of the issues with the original layout of this house. It didn't have any closets or any storage. So I really tried to utilize every bit of space I could to build that in. So this room is going to be very, very useful. Let's go to our room next. This is our bedroom, and this is another room we reworked. And when you walk in, this is going to be all cabinetry, and it'll be my closet, but it'll feel a little bit more like a lounge space since it's the first thing you walk into. So I think we're gonna have maybe a little couch here. And then Marky's closet is actually really cool. I don't know if we'll be able to see up there. Is there a light?
Yeah, I don't know
It's
if
a
the lights
little
are up
dark.
there. But
But
there's a spiral staircase going up. We can walk up there and see what we can see.
so this was actually attic space. And this was here when we bought the house. They cut into the attic space and added a second closet upstairs. Hey, I think I found a light.
Plug
Maybe.
it in, see if it
Maybe.
works.
Oh,
That was anticlimactic.
I know, sad.
Plug it in, it doesn't work. I think the camera is showing good enough though.
Yeah. But this will just be cabinetry. He'll have lots of storage up here and his own man cave closet. Are you excited to have your own closet?
Oh yeah. I'm not excited about the steps every day, but
You get an extra workout. This little area is probably going to be my favorite room upstairs. I think everything's my favorite room, but this is actually going to be a coffee bar, and we've never had anything like that before. So just to have like our own quick little coffee machine up here will be a dream. In our bedroom, we have a fireplace, and we're gonna do, I think, a canopy bed, which is something that I've always wanted. And I can't wait to see that come in. In our bathroom, I need to find the before pictures of this because we completely changed the layout of this, and we are doing the tub in the middle of the room, which I know sounds really different, but it was the best way to utilize the space and get a lot of cabinetry and countertop space. So this is going to be all the bathroom vanity. So it'll be his and hers, and we are going to be hanging the mirrors in front of the windows. I have never seen that in person. I hope it looks good. I hope it makes sense. That way they're kind of centered over the sinks, and then we'll have a lot of countertop space.
Yeah, you still get the privacy of the mirrors blocking anybody
the
from
window.
seeing from outside, but then you get the light shining in from behind them.
That way the deer can't peep in.
Yeah, the deer. Gotta watch out for them.
There's no neighbors out there. And then we have toilet room, little pooper. And we did also build a little cubby for toilet paper, tampons, all of that stuff, because I feel like you need somewhere to put that in the bathroom. So that's gonna be a nifty little cubby. And then the shower. Which way, left or right?
Right.
We have a half bathroom, storage closet, and this is the kids' bedroom. And this house has 3 bedrooms, so we really wanted to utilize the space as good as possible. They're all large bedrooms, but we wanted it to be set up for multiple kids. So this is the first closet in the bedroom. And when you walk in, don't trip over the wires. It's my favorite room in the house. I always walk in here and it just gives me the best feeling. Has amazing light, amazing views, and just, it's such a unique shape to the room. This is the second closet. We did add a couple of arches in the house, so I'm really excited about that. It's just like such a cute little detail.
Got a nice view out of the pool too, right from the bedroom window.
This area here, we're gonna have, like I said, we're setting it up for multiple kids. So there'll be a desk under each window. So it'll be a nice little built-in. And then in the center here, we're gonna do a built-in trundle bed. And there will be, I think we did 2 beds, like twin beds that are gonna go here. We do also have, I think the count is up to 22 nieces and nephews. So when they come to visit, we really wanted to have a space for them to come, even in the future when we have kids in here, for them to be able to hang out and share the room and share the space. So this room will already be set up for multiple kids. And then crib one day over there, a little glider.
And then one of our favorite features is up top.
Oh yes, the ceiling.
Instead of doing drywall, we're doing tongue and groove up there.
So it'll be a wood trimmed ceiling. Moving into here, this is the bathroom. We will have double vanities, separate toilet over here, and then the bathtub goes underneath the window, and it's gonna be cute, so cute. And then we have a very large shower in here as well, and I love the tile we picked for this. I can't wait to see that come together. We're also gonna do that same wood trim ceiling here. I love the character and charm that it adds. I feel like our house looks a lot older than it is. It's only a 20-year-old house. So we wanted to kind of bring that old charm that's on the outside on the inside. So we did add a lot of millwork and trim. This is the family room, and just carrying on from the kids' bedroom, this is a hideaway.
A little mouse door.
This used to be attic space, but we cut a door and we turned it into a kids' little hideaway playroom. It's actually a lot of space in here. I was already looking at little like furniture to put in here. So just be a fun little cozy cave. And the little arch door is gonna be so cute. And then this is the family room. You can actually see the wood started here. The walls will look like this, and it goes all the way up to the ceiling. So the whole room will be, this is tongue and groove.
Yep. And then they're going to be painting that as well.
That'll all be
won't
painted.
Be white in here.
And so this will just be like a big couch family room. On this wall here, we did a built-in. We were trying to figure out the best use of space. Again, we have really big families, so when Marky's sister comes to town, she has 8 kids, and we just really wanted to have a space for everybody to sleep, everybody to hang out. So this area is a built-in couch and day bed. So it's plenty big enough to sit and use as a couch, and then you can also sleep on it. So it'll be the full length of this with built-in storage underneath. And it'll just be a really good use of that space and a good amount of storage.
So be sure to follow along and subscribe so you don't miss anything.
We are going to be documenting the entire process and just show you everything as it's happening here. And I'm really excited to watch this house turn into a home again and see all of the finishes come in. Like I said, next week flooring will be starting, so I'm really excited to show you all the tile. We picked the wood floors that are going in the entryway and just share the whole thing with you. We're really excited.
See you in the next episode.
Bye. Was that good? Did you like it?